Hi, my name is Sebastian and I'm studying at the University of Sydney in Australia, but I'm here on exchange from University College London in the United Kingdom. When I initially moved to Australia in late July 2019, a lot of things went wrong. I'm here to give you some advice on what you can do to minimize things going wrong and also what you can expect if really literally everything just goes wrong. So a little background, before I went abroad, I had to do a couple of things. I had to apply for a visa, I had to book my flights, which I had to do in advance because they can get quite expensive, so I'd recommend doing that kind of 1 or 2 months before you leave at a minimum. Then I had to pack my bags and actually get on the plane and move my life over to another continent. That's what was supposed to happen, but this happened instead. I think I was quite unlucky, but at the same time I could have been a lot more prepared, so I'm here to tell you my story and also sort of what I learned from it personally and what you can take from it as well. So my first tip for study abroad students is to get travel insurance. Even though you think you might not need it, I think it's always worth getting it. And especially if it's given to you by your university, I'd recommend having a look at what the policy actually entails so that you actually know what you can do when you lose your stuff. The second thing I'd recommend is to weigh your bags before you leave the house. This is a pretty common and standard procedure, but I didn't do it and it meant that I got really stressed out at the airport. It's just a really easy way to avoid your bag being overweight. My third tip is to take photos of your luggage before you close them up and pack them up. This will come super handy if you actually end up losing your luggage. It just makes life super easy. If you don't need it in the end, you can literally just delete it once you get your bags, but it just saves you a lot of time in the future if something does go wrong. My fourth tip is to pack as much essential stuff as you can in your hand luggage. Initially, I didn't do this, but when I was told to repack my bags, I actually put a lot of essential stuff into my hand luggage, which really saved me when I got to Sydney. I had initially put extra shirts, extra underwear and extra socks, but I actually added all my electronic device chargers, like my laptop charger, my phone charger, my camera charger. If I hadn't had that when I got to Sydney, I would have had to buy it when I arrived. So actually it was really useful and actually it helped a lot. My fifth tip is to pack a lot of snacks and water because the food that you might get on the flight is obviously not the best, especially if you're going to a place like Australia. It's a long flight. Part of that I think also means bringing sleeping things like a sleeping mask or maybe like earplugs so you can actually sleep on the flight. I know it might be really hard to sleep on a flight, but if you actually manage to do it, it makes the journey seem so much shorter and also it makes adjusting to the local time zone so much easier, which brings me on to my next point. What I did when I got on my flights was change my watch and my phone to the local time of the place I was about to arrive in. It just meant that I kind of was aware of when I should try to sleep or stay awake in order to kind of adjust to the local time zone and all that kind of stuff. And lastly, before you actually make it to your final destination, I would definitely research transport from the airport to your accommodation or wherever you're staying. I was actually able to get a shuttle bus which was arranged by the University of Sydney specifically for exchange students, and it just made the whole process of arriving so much easier, especially given the fact that I was so tired because I just lost all my bags and I had to file a report and pass customs and all that kind of stuff. Even if your university doesn't offer a shuttle bus, just look at taxis or public transport or even just where the airport is located in relation to your accommodation, because it'll just make things so much easier when trying to navigate a new city for the first time. So those are my tips. I hope they help. I'll definitely say though that once you go abroad and you make yourself settled and you make yourself at home, all of the difficulties that you had along the way really become quite meaningless because you're actually living such a great experience. Thanks for watching and good luck.